They lose. They lose to the Jets. Jets fans invaded this place, had a reason to celebrate. And you know what they're doing now? They're killing on the craps tables, for crying out loud. That's what the ramifications of a game like this. A 3rd and 9 interception by Tony Adams. Jalen Hurts' 3rd interception of the game sparks the Jets to win 20-14. and it's time for Mark Farzetta to add some sanity to this set.
Hey, real quick.
Farzy joins the set.
Hold up, real quick, because a lot of people have been inquiring on social media. I reported during the game, and I'm just updating it now. As for Lane Johnson, he did have X-rays. The X-rays were negative. They will have an MRI tomorrow. So right now, that's thumbs up because they're going to need him against Miami. But again, they still have to do an MRI tomorrow.
That's good news. All right, Mark Farzetta is brought to us by First Trust Bank. For the player you can count on today,
promo?
It certainly was not Jalen. Who's the player you can count on today, Mark? I'm exhausted with these guys. Go ahead. Help me out.
I mean, look, the only thing we can really be optimistic about today, unfortunately, is the play of Assan Reddick. 2.5 sacks today, got into the backfield when the Eagles needed him to get into the backfield. You're looking at a guy who's got 5.5 sacks in his last 3 games. You want to talk about a guy you could bank on with First Trust Bank. Assan Reddick has been that guy. He has been him. And I think it is the most obvious thing to say that, yes, the cast definitely had an impact on his low numbers in production in the first 3 games of the season, Mike. But other than that, good God, that was a great opening segment by you guys. Let me tip my cap to you guys first and foremost. I want to get some breaking news for you. Both things can be true. You can acknowledge the fact that Jalen Hurts did not play well today, did not play well, especially in that fourth quarter. And I was in the green room with you guys, and we were all astonished by what Jalen Hurts was able to do in the first 3 quarters of this game, with what he was able to do with the circus throws. Kenny Gainwell dropping a 3rd and 6 beyond the line for the first down. And it was after a great scramble to buy time by Jalen Hurts. It was after great plays by Jalen Hurts. But he did not play in the money position of this game the way we're used to seeing Jalen Hurts do that. It's okay to think that Jalen Hurts is still going to be either an MVP candidate or at very least the well-earned franchise tag guy of the Philadelphia Eagles, the franchise guy of the Philadelphia Eagles. But it's also okay to acknowledge he played terrible today, especially in that fourth quarter. It's also okay to acknowledge that the Eagles played a terrible football game and without question played down to their opponent in the New York Jets. I think it's okay to acknowledge all those things and still think the Eagles are going to be a pretty damn good team coming out of the NFC.
There you go.
Well, of course they are.
There you go.
Of course they're going to be a good team.
But I'm not
either the best or the second best team in the NFC.
If I had to agree with any of you fine gentlemen today, more so than the other, I got to go with Mike Miss on this one because I can't watch them play a game against the New York Jets the way they played this game against the New York Jets and turn the football over 4 times in this game and lose to the Jets. It was a red carpet of opportunity rolled out for this team today to be the only undefeated team left in the NFL, and unfortunately, they blew that opportunity with the way that the San Francisco 49ers choked against the Browns and the Eagles choked against the Jets.
Are you speaking as a fan or as an objective journalist?
Objective.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
How else would I look at it, in all honesty?
Hey, you know what? It wasn't supposed to happen. The script didn't play out the way we all thought it would in the pregame. Did it?
The NFL scripts?
Did the script play out?
No.
We all sat up here and we
I had 42-13. I had 42-13.
There you go. We all sat up here and beyond a shadow of a doubt, we thought this Eagles team would beat them by double-digit points because they were down 4 defensive backs. Zach Wilson was the quarterback. Jets were averaging 18 points a game. Eagles averaging 28 points a game. There's no way on God's green earth that the script was going to be flipped. The universe was going to be upside down the way it was. And guess what happened, Farzy?
It's upside down.
Any given Sunday, the universe today was upside down.
I believe the clinical term is ass up.
There you go.
Is the way it went today.
However you want to describe it, that's what it was today.
But here's the thing. He would have done enough, and he would have still won the game with 3 turnovers had he not made a boneheaded decision to throw the interception that was the only chance that the Jets would have to win the game.
It would have.
Seriously. I mean, he didn't do enough. They were winning for 15-12. He would have done enough with his 3 turnovers if he doesn't make the 4th.
He's gone from ifs to woulda.
From if to woulda to coulda.
And hold on 1 second, because they got the ball back. How much time was left?
I don't know, buck.
Minute and change.
1:46.
Okay.
1:46 to get the ball back, right?
Yep.
What did they do? They moved the ball 2 yards.
Yep. Yeah, they
Two,
did.
they moved it 2 yards, and we're sitting here and we're going, it happens?
Yeah.
But they
What was-
influenced
what was
the-
20 yards?
they
What were the
influenced
play calls,
the
Mike?
finale of that
Mike,
game.
what was the play calls?
I don't know the play
You
calls.
know
You
the
want me
play
to
call.
read them? Pass incomplete, short right to A.J. Brown. Pass incomplete, short right to Devontae Smith. But one was a
Keep
short
going.
pass.
Keep going.
Incomplete
What else?
through 2 bad passes in that. Hurts, short pass left to Devontae Smith for 2 yards. What are we doing?
Jalen
What kind of drive was
Jalen
that?
Hurts played
the
his
common
worst game
thing-
of the season.
What's the common thing that you hear in that analogy of what happened in those 3 plays?
Short passes?
Why? Why?
Pass incomplete.
Why, Mike?
Pass incomplete. Tell me if you got a minute and 40-something seconds left on the clock and you got 2 timeouts left, why the hell aren't you running the ball?
Listen, Seth, I don't know. All I can tell you is they got it back with a minute 46, and they couldn't do anything with it.
Doesn't matter, though.
And why
Quarterback
did
not
he
only
throw-
gave the
trying to tell
interception
you.
that
And why
won
did
the
he
game,
throw the check
couldn't
down
get the
throws?
ball back down the field,
Why
which
did he
is what
throw
they
check down
planned
throws?
for.
Why did he throw check down throws? Because the Jets defense was
They
putting pressure
forced
on
him.
him. He didn't want to take the sack. Well, right or wrong,
Well,
he
then
didn't want to.
figure
What do you
out
do?
what's
Get rid of the
gonna
ball,
work.
Mike.
Get
the ball in somebody's hands,
Do they
man.
want to get beat with a long play on that final possession?
Mike,
Well, then take
what
what
if
they're
he had
giving you.
taken a sack on that? What would you have been saying then?
Isn't that what I said? Isn't
Yeah.
that what I said?
The Eagles
Yeah.
had 2
Take-
timeouts,
take
I
what you-
believe,
take-
still
take
left
what
at
you
that
give
time
them.
as well.
So if you're going to sit back and you're going to play zone.
And it put heat on your
Okay,
quarterback.
so they
man.
only gave him 2 yards? That's all they gave him?
Obviously, so.
Re-
What did
really?
they get?
It
What did they
happens?
get?
Listen, if you know that they got to go the length of the field to score, you're not dropping it 5 yards. You're dropping it 10 yards. And you got
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you only gain 2
So
yards?
you throw the ball underneath, and you got guys that are watching the quarterback, and the minute his arm raised, they're breaking on the ball where his eyes are looking, Mike.
Not only that, but the
Are you
guys up
kidding
front,
me?
even though they went to
Am I
the guys
kidding you?
up front
Are
were
you-
putting pressure
you're
on
sitting here
them
and
to
you're
force them
saying-
to get rid of the ball. Mike, come on, man.
Mike.
They're allowed
Come on,
to
Mike.
not
Mike.
complete a pass more than 2
Come on,
yards
Mike. Take
when
the-
they're giving you space to complete a pass?
Take the football education, okay? Just take it, man.
Hey, wait, hey, Mike. Somebody wants to.
Hey, you know what the football education I got from 2 y'all today?
What's that?
It happens.
Yes, right.
That's the football
Mike,
I got
Mike,
from you
Mike,
guys today.
Did you lose something today?
It
in this
happens.
game? Did-
No, I didn't lose.
Well, how about the play that they actually
lose the
had
lunch
somebody
money or
open
something?
No, I did
underneath?
not.
You sure? Okay.
How about the play they actually had somebody open underneath? That man's name was A.J. Brown, and Jalen Hurts overthrew him. And A.J. Brown himself even turned around
And
with
yelled at
fire
him.
in
Yelled at
his
him.
eyes.
All right, Farnsey. How many times has Jalen Hurts overthrown, missed wide open receivers this season, and they were able to capitalize on it because it bit them in the backside today, dude.
First off, hold on. The analysis or saying that it happens is not wrong. We all know,
It
we've all
happened.
watched enough sports, that it does happen.
Yes.
Why did it happen today against the Jets?
Let me ask you a question. Did Jalen Hurts have fire in his eyes when he threw that deep ball to A.J. Brown and he was just lollygagging down the field instead of running full speed?
No, he was poised
All right
as
then.
usual.
So-
and I agree with you on that.
So what happened?
No, I understand.
It's
always the receiver.
happened.
I understand.
It happened earlier. It happened then. He just overthrew him.
I agree with you, but I didn't expect this game to be one big, heaping, steamy, stinky pile of ish.
It's what
And that's
it
what
was.
I know it's fun to go,
But
Jalen
it
Hurts
was.
and Brian Johnson, but let's just be honest here. Everybody, with the exception of maybe a couple of guys on defense, sucked today. This was not an individual's effort to be terrible. This was awful. If you go back to the Commanders game last year, the game that they lost, the only other one they lost with Jalen Hurts start and finishing that game. Jalen Hurts played great in that game, and everything else was stinky around him. In this game, everything was terrible. It's
Absolutely.
hard to just pinpoint one thing and go, this
Absolutely.
guy, that guy, more so this guy, less so that guy. But this was just straight terrible all throughout.
Sometimes your opponent makes you play stinky. Okay? Sometimes that happens. You know, people don't. I mean, people just don't want to admit the fact that you want to know something. Those guys on the other side of the ball, they get paid to make plays. They got talent as well.
All right,
and you just want to act like those guys just
they get paid
because
they
they're 2-2. They come into this game or 2-3. We want to just assign it to them that they suck, and everybody on their roster sucks. That they don't have any ability to make
Pro
no
Bowl
plays.
players,
Come on,
no
man.
big money
Stop.
players.
I think
Stop
here you go. If you don't score after the 5:50 mark of the second quarter, odds are you're probably going to lose that game.
Yep.
The Eagles didn't score after the 5:50
No, they
mark of
didn't.
the second quarter.
And they turned it over.
And they turned
the ball
second
over.
half.
You look at everything that combined for this loss. A.J. Brown half-heartedly running for a deep ball he could have easily caught. That's a touchdown right there. Devontae Smith dropping 2 passes. Kenneth Gainwell dropping the first down pass. Jalen Hurts throwing 3 picks. DeAndre Swift fumbling in the middle of the field.
I said at the beginning,
it was the perfect storm to win against this team.
During the pregame show, I said, all right, it was almost a throwaway line. It was, barring that they don't shoot themselves in the foot, they're going to win this game. Yeah, and repeatedly, not only did they shoot themselves in the foot, but yes, to your point, Seth, I do tip my cap in some regards to the Jets because, look, they punched the ball out of Dallas Goedert when they saw the ball was loose right on Dallas Goedert's hip, and it ended up being the first interception. And the odd thing about this game also with Jalen Hurts' interceptions, they progressively got worse.
Yes, they did.
The first one, it was tipped out. Second one, he was hit as he throws. Third one, Mike, to your point 1,000 times over, ridiculously terrible decision.
That's all I'm saying. You can mount up all these things and say J.J. Brown should have ran fast for that long pass. It would have been a touchdown. You can say they could have done this. They could have done that. They still had the lead with the ball until the quarterback gave it to the other team. And then they got it back, and the quarterback moved it 2 yards.
So
I don't want to hear it happen.
Your assertion.
It was within their control.
It's your assertion that the Eagles lost the game because of Jalen Hurts.
Yes, because he threw an interception at the worst possible time. How does that happen? That's just they should have won the game with people saying, no, they played like crap, but they still won the game. They had control of the game. They had the ball in their hands with the lead, even though it was a short lead. How do you say it happens?
So you got 50 minutes of football that you just want to nullify and bring it all down to a 30-second play.
Are plays at the end of the game more important than
absolutely
the play?
They are.
Well, then, in the heat of the moment, that play counts more than the plays you're looking back at.
The only reason that it counts more is because the game was on the line. If they did what they were supposed to do in the first half, that play is not even an issue, Mike.
I get it, Seth, but you can't go back. They had control.
But you're giving if scenarios as well, Mike.
At the moment, they're not saying, well, I missed that long pass to A.J. Brown. At the moment, they're in control at 14-12. They made a third down conversion, and he's got the ball again to ice the game away.
Look, Jalen Hurts should not have made that throw at the most pivotal point of a game. But I've seen every quarterback in the history of the planet since I've covered this game make a mistake like that in a crucial point of a game.
Absolutely.
Guys in the Hall of Fame have made those mistakes at crucial points of a game. I'm not justifying Jalen Hurts. I'm not making this. Jalen should not have thrown the football into that coverage.
And, all right,
it happened.
That's where there should be a period to your sentence.
It happened.
The period to your sentence should be Jalen should have thrown the ball in that situation. Period.
Did it not happen? Did it happen? He threw it in there, didn't he?
He did.
It happened. Plain and simple, it happened.
Yeah, but all we have seen from Jalen Hurts throughout his career, with the exception of the one Commanders game where he couldn't do it, is he makes the play. He rises to the occasion.
So you've been spoiled.
And when everything, if you want to put it like that to this point, yes,
okay.
Sure. No, but that's fine. But I want to continue to, if you're spoiled, you know what you want to do? Continue to be spoiled.
I've said this.
Real quick, the game against the Colts last year, remember that game against the Colts?
Everybody,
that whole game was, again, the defense actually played well in that game. Offense did not play well. But in the fourth quarter, Jalen Hurts said, screw it all, and he took advantage, took over, marched them down the field for a score. That's what I was expecting, and that's what I thought was going to happen when A.J. Brown caught that 39-yard reception down the sideline that they reviewed and upheld. I'm sorry, Seth, go ahead.
See, this is the reason. This is what's wrong with us as Philly fans and as Philly media people. This right here, okay? So the Eagles went to the Super Bowl last year. They come in, we expect for the defense to be a little bit less because of what we lost.
The transition.
But we expect for the offense to be just as explosive as they were as we ended. Pick it up right where we left off, okay? They come out, they struggle. They finally get together a little bit. The defense is playing better than we thought it was going to be, okay? I said it early on. Success always breeds great expectation, okay? So our great expectation is that the Eagles are never supposed to play a bad game. They are never supposed to make mistakes. And in an imperfect game, everything that they do is supposed to be perfect, okay?
Yep, there you go.
Tonight they weren't perfect, Mike. That's it in a nutshell.
Weren't perfect.
I'm not saying, Mark, that it's okay that they weren't perfect.
Right.
But in an imperfect game where if you play 75% of the plays good, You played a hell of a football game. The Eagles did not live up to their standard today, and that happens. That's the only point that anybody's trying to make. Not trying to defend them, not trying to say that Jalen Hurts, isn't still the guy or the Eagles still can't be a good football team, but they weren't going 16-0 anyway.
Nobody on this panel has ever said, including me, that they were going to go 16-0. And nobody. And nobody said they weren't going to have a bad game along the way. I'm looking at
You're just pissed because they had a bad game against the Jets.
But even with a bad game, they still should have won this game because of a misguided decision by the leader of the team. And if that's not true, I'll walk over here. I'll go play frickin' poker. I'll tell you, to be honest with you.
Go play
if
poker.
If that's not true,
right.
I'm sitting here going, I can't believe my ears with you guys. Yes, I expected them to play a bad game along the way. Yes, I expected them to lose. What I did not expect was a bad decision when they still had control of the game after playing like crap and handed the game to that team. That's what I did not expect.
This many good players, this many clutch players not playing well and not playing clutch. That's what troubled me so much about this game, is that there were so many different guys throughout all the opportunities to take over a game and capitalize on mistakes made by the Jets. They threw it out the window today. We can't. I mean, I think most people could be upset about that. No.
Let me hold on one second. Let me do this, D-Gun.
What?
So I know, Mike, you're a big-time baseball guy. You play baseball, right?
Yeah.
What position did you play?
I was a shortstop, second base.
Okay, did you ever field the ball at second base with a double play on the line and hesitate and made a mistake?
Never in my life.
Somebody, he's sitting here lying through his teeth.
Never in my life. I can turn to don't play in my freaking sleep.
There we go. There we go.
Lying through his teeth.
Point proven. Point proven, D-Gun. That's all I want to do.
Exactly.
Let me tell you something, though. If I booted a ground ball double play in the bottom of the ninth inning that allowed the other team to win, do you think I'd be saying it happens?
You got bad memory.
You think my coach would be saying it happens?
You got bad memory.
You got bad memory.
Okay? Because, listen, I've made some plays that's won my team the game. I've made some plays that's lost my team the game. Okay? So I know that it can happen. You know that it can happen. You just don't want to accept it because your expectation for this football team against that football team was unrealistic, Mike. and we're spoiled because this team has spoiled us to the point where we expect for them to play perfect in an imperfect game.
Well, listen, if we're going to keep with the baseball analogy, if the game is on the line, I am making sure I smother that ground ball that it's not getting by. Now, I might not convert the double play, so my analogy says that in that situation, Hurts cannot throw the football with two guys gating the receiver. That's all I'm saying.
I haven't seen since maybe the playoff game against the Buccaneers. I haven't seen Jalen Hurts come up with that bad a read or that bad a decision on that particular play. The other thing that sticks out to me about this game, I don't know if you guys mentioned this in the opening segment or not, one of the things I have been a huge admirer of Jalen Hurts about over the years has been the fact that this guy is mentally on steroids, mentally tough left and right, hangs with the best of them. That shot of him on the sidelines, I have never seen him look that mentally defeated after a play. And when he got another crack at it to go back onto the field after they opened up the gates and just said, march on in for the touchdown, free score on us, boys. They got the shot of him on the sideline. I said, that doesn't look like the Jalen Hurts that I know. That looked like a guy that looked like it was already done. And to your point, Mike, they had what? A minute 41 left with two timeouts? Minute 46 left, two timeouts.
They allowed them to score because they believed that their offense and Jalen Hurts would be able to take them down the field. Why else wouldn't you let them score?
And
they let them score because they believed in their offense to get the ball down the field.
Did they not just score a week ago with 32 seconds left before the half against the Rams last week?
Yep.
I would have confidence that Jalen Hurts would be able to lead a team down the field and score a touchdown at that point. Again, yes, that is the last play. Everything is heightened. We all know that the stock goes up in those last plays. But everything else that led up to it wasn't exactly great either.
All right. They're no longer undefeated is the bottom line. 49ers are no longer either. None of us expected that any of those teams would be undefeated. I get it. Now they play Miami next week. So this is a chance for them with a big bounce-back week against a really good team. And from losing this game, they should be ultra-focused in that game. So if they're going to take one good thing out of this, maybe it's that.
Well, you can say that, but let's look ahead. Look at how explosive Miami's offense is, okay? Look at how the Eagles came out of this game today. First of all, they went into the game, no Sidney Brown. They went into the game, no Darius Slayton. It's not a given Slay's knee is going to be ready to play next week. Eli Ricks went out of this game. Justin Evans is on IR. All right, so there's a possibility, Mike, it could be a lot worse than what we looked at today. Think about it. Think about it.
But, look, if they lose to Miami, I go, well, Miami's a team that's capable of beating.
Well, true.
This team shouldn't be. This team should not
be
capable.
Mike, they should not be. I will agree with you 1,000%, but as we sit here in the here and now, as shocked as we are, the bottom line is the Jets beat them, and the Eagles helped them beat them. The play calling sucked. The quarterback sucked today. Jake Elliott misses a field goal. Your Mr. Sure-hand receiver, Devontae Smith, dropped a couple. The Eagles did everything they could possibly do to help the Jets win this game, and doggone it, the Jets won the game. Am I lying or am I telling the truth?
Did they win the game?
Mike, come on, man. Come on, Mike.
They obviously won the game, and I get what you're saying. I'm just focused. I'm ultra focused on the clutch moments of this game where they still have the lead and can put that team away. So it's not like I can sit here and say, wow, the Jets really took it to them and the Jets defense prevented them. That's not what happened in this game.
Hey, Mike,
and the quarterback got some confidence. That's not what happened.
Mike, do you ascribe that Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player ever?
Yes.
Okay. Michael Jordan has been quoted as saying that I've missed more last-minute shots, last-second shots than I've ever made. So why would you expect for Jalen Hurts to be perfect all the time?
Okay, all right. I don't have a retort to that.
You know what's funny?
I didn't expect him to be perfect. He was terrible today. I expected him not to throw that pass. That's all I expect.
I got the spotlight. I'm just trying to get you to see the light, my friend. That's all.
Hey, look,
I'm
glad you brought up Michael Jordan because I saw in a documentary years ago. Michael Jordan in his college and pro career took over 300-something game-winning shots and hit less than 40% of them. But he's still considered the greatest of all time, right?
Yeah. Because he did other things, I think.
There you go.
If he was playing the Jets, he'd have beat him.
He did other things more than a last-second shot.
That's just one game, man.
And it's not analogous. No, how do you say that word?
You said it right.
Analogous to football. It's not.
Okay.
Sure it is.
All right.
It's not.
Sure it is.
No, because they had two chances.
No.
The Eagles had two chances for that game.
No.
It wasn't a last-second shot.
It is
that ends the horn.
It is because you want to put the onus on the play that the quarterback made. Okay.
Yeah, and I want to put the onus on the fact that they got the ball 2 yards down the field.
So you put the onus on the guy who took the last shot that said that he missed many more than he made. Okay. So I would ascribe that Jalen Hurts is going to make more of those plays. As a matter of fact,
I'm not disagreeing with you.
As a matter of fact,
that I have abandoned Jalen Hurts here?
No, but I'm just saying
he's a great player.
But so then give him grace for having a bad outing today, man. That's all I'm saying.
I can't give grace to.
You got to give grace.
Two situations.
You got to give grace.
That should not have happened.
You got to give grace because that guy's performed in those positions more times than he's failed.
Well, let me ask this then. Doesn't the grace then lie in the idea that Mike isn't abandoning Jalen Hurts? Like, he's not saying that all of a sudden now Jalen Hurts sucks. He's saying that right now he made bad decisions. In this instance, which he did.
But you can't point the finger at that one guy. The game is bigger than that one guy. Okay. It's different. It's different in basketball in this sense that you know what, the ball is the focal point. If I got the ball and I'm taking the last shot, it's a make or miss. If I make it, I'm the hero. If I miss, I'm the GOAT for that matter, okay? But the game of football is so much bigger because there's other things that are at work here, you know? He got fooled on the coverage. Every quarterback, Peyton Manning's been fooled on the coverage. Tom Brady's been fooled on the coverage. Joe Montana, John Elway.
Thank you.
Dan Marino, some of the greatest players that ever played the game has been fooled on coverages. Yet we're holding this guy to expectation you can't throw that ball. You just can't throw that ball. You can't throw that interception.
We hold people to expectations. The Phillies just had a game where they lost the game to the Braves when Trey Turner did not block a relay throw. He's a great player, but in that moment he made a bad mistake.
Yeah, and
so it's not like we're saying Trey Turner stinks. My point is you focus on the individual action at the time, and if it brings you disappointment, it's fair. All right, we're going to take a break.
We're all disappointed.
Take a break. We're coming back. We've got John McMullen and his analysis live from the stadium. And also, don't forget, Kayla Santiago will join us with the Diamond Debate. That is all coming up from Ocean Casino on the Pond Lehocky Eagles post-game show, where the Eagles lose to the Jets 20-14, and they're no longer undefeated. We'll see what McMullen says.